Hello. Okay. Looks like we're live. Looks like the audio's working. Fancy. Okay. So, let's start by saying that I'm exhausted. It took forever to put my toddler to bed, and I am tired. We might not make it the whole time tonight. My volume is low. Let's see what we can do. Can we move the mic? Or what about this? Is that better? I have turned up the volume on my actual mic. I don't think I've ever done that before. There we go. Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is that my daughter took forever, 1,000 years to go to bed tonight, and there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth, and I am just entirely exhausted. I'm very tired. So we probably are not going to go the whole time tonight. However, tonight we're going to do something a little bit, I wouldn't say new, definitely not new or groundbreaking for the game, but new for Star Trooper, because we're going to do some combat. We've never done combat before. Let's go ahead and have a little review. Got unanswered questions here. Okay, so, one thing I was trying to figure out, we talked about Bliss, and she works with the Broken Circle, and it took a long time to figure that out last time because I was extremely tired. And I think part of that is that the show's on Sundays, but it's not going to be on Sundays for very much longer because we're coming back for Ambrica. So I need to figure out what weekday that I'm going to be streaming this on. Maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, possibly. Something like that. I'll have to figure it out. If you have any preferences, let me know, I guess. But anyway, I was also very tired last stream. And I was spending I had one brain cell, and there was not two brain cells to rub together, and I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on with this Broken Circle thing that we came up with, because it kind of sounded like almost like a DAV, like disabled veterans of like rifters, and I was like, well, that doesn't really sound like she would really be like a secret agent. I don't know how those two things kind of go together. And then I realized that it wouldn't be a DAV, it would be like a suicide squad. And that made much more sense to me. So, the kind of people that the Rifters send out on dangerous, crazy, possibly illegal sort of missions and stuff that you can't really send anybody else on, but I mean, these people are kind of dying anyway, so there you go. So, Broken Circle, they're the Suicide Squad. There you go. We figured it out. Go team. The other thing that we figured out last time is that Astrid, who I personally thought was going to be like a continuing, like ongoing friend NPC, turned out to not be that. She turned out to be a space pirate who had just been on board the derelict Rifter ship, and was not actually Rifter crew, and just lied about it when we saved her. So now Astrid is trying to take over the Eclipse and get rid of Vesper before we land on Janus, so that there's less drama for her when she gets to Janus, saying that the ship just belongs to her and all of the cargo on it belongs to her, rather than there being some sort of scene, right? So that really doesn't work very well for us, because it would be cool to not die, and it would be cool to not be betrayed by someone. And I don't know if you know this about Vesper, but she very recently just got like framed for murder of one of her best friends / maybe boyfriend ? It's complicated. So she has maybe like what we would call baggage about this. So she's probably not very happy that this person who we thought we were going to be friends with is actually a space pirate trying to steal our ship. I don't think anybody would be happy about that. The problem is that Vesper is not a fighter, and she's probably never been in a fight in her life. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how it goes. I have technically done combat before in Starforged. Technically, I have been part of a combat tutorial for Starforged, but that was a very long time ago, and I am stupid now is basically what it is. Like all of my memory and all of my brain power is gone because I'm a mom. Which means I don't do fun things and I can't remember fun things. So we're starting from scratch here, even though I have absolutely done this. Whatever. Let's go ahead and close last week's. And open a new one. Okay. This one is going to be, I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But we're just going to do this. I have a name for the episode, actually, already, and I should know what it is. And now it's going to bother me, and I should just leave this alone. I absolutely should just keep doing what I'm doing, but I can't. I need to look it up now. Of what, because I've already made the thumbnail for this one because I knew the whole thing was just going to be the combat anyway. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm just going to look up what I called it. It's going to be so funny if I didn't give it a name yet. Oh, I bet you I didn't. Anyway, I don't think we are going to start with a vignette this time. I know that you're like technically supposed to, but I just don't have the energy and the brain power to do all that, if I'm being totally honest. So we're literally like just going to get into it's taking a very long time to load. Cutting losses. I knew I came up with a great name for it. That's what it's called. This one is called Cutting Losses. And I made like a really cool, can we just, by the way, my thumbnail game, I haven't updated all the thumbnails yet, but I just made a whole bunch of new ones, and I'm really proud of how they turned out. I think the thumbnail art for the show is really cool. Oh, another thing before we get started is that I have been looking into, I think I'm going to go with Substack, but I've been looking at like Substack and Medium and things like that as far as like writing out almost a novelization kind of script for this show, because when we do the show, and I mean you can see right here, it looks like this. Begin a section, and then there's like a roll, and then there's like one or sometimes two sentences under each of the rolls, and that's kind of how I've been doing it. Like this stream is playing the game, is like making the stuff up, but I'm not in the moment like coming up with dialogue or like how the characters are actually like acting or what they're thinking, or putting a whole lot of like narrative into it, because that's a lot of extra work for my brain to do all at the same time, and I'm not very good at that like in the moment on stream. But I would really like to be able to do it as like almost so this is us building the game, and that would be me like writing it out, like novel version. And if I do it on Substack, they actually have a way that you can have a podcast too. So if we wanted, if that was something that might be interesting, I could like read. It would almost be like narrating an audiobook at that point, like with the voices and everything, which would not sound like what my voice sounds like right now, because this is not my reading voice. This is my talking voice. Anyway, so that's a thing that I'm looking into, is like, I think it would be really fun to have an actual, like the characters actually having dialogue and there being like scenes and stuff, rather than just kind of what I'm doing here. But this is a different kind of fun for me than that, so we'll see how that goes. But I think I'll at least probably try. Anyway, we're going to start all the way up at the top. Begin a session. if we did a flashback, what would it be? Important character is put in danger or suffers a misadventure. Well, that's not a flashback. That's literally right now, because between us and the door of the Eclipse at this moment is suddenly Astrid with a big, what have we decided they were? Laser knives, plasma knives? I think we went with plasma. I think it was like a plasma knife, so that it wasn't too close to like lightsabers. And she would really like to kill us and take our ship. No hard feelings. It's just business. So what we need to do here, well, I guess we can go ahead and save that roll because that's already what's happening, is we need to find the fighting stuff. Enter the fray. That's what we need to do. We need to enter the fray. Let me have it. When you initiate combat or are forced into a fight, envision your objective and give it a rank. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective with a rank for each. Then roll to see if you are in control. I think... Oh, I forgot that I can't... I keep trying to adjust this and make it bigger, and I need it to fit exactly right here. No, we're not very good at thievery and we're not very good at fighting. We're literally an engineer, but it's going to be okay. Okay, so let's just real quick look over what we have at the moment. We're very smart. We're pretty quick. And we have pretty good constitution. Like, we could be okay in a fight. But we're not very stealthy. And we're not very good at talking our way out of things. We have the Eclipse, obviously. There's a workshop in the Eclipse. We used it to repair Mira. That's not going to help us right now. We are a gearhead. I wonder if I forgot to add that before. +1 and take 1 momentum. It looks like I do have some momentum, so maybe I probably did remember that. And then, of course, Mira, our overseer, is the AI module. Secure an advantage or gain ground. That's not going to help us right now because those are not... Yeah, okay. So the assets we have are probably not going to come into play here, but good to know. Challenges. We got some vows. I think that fighting, at combat is a progress thing, is what it sounded like. Can I open this up again and look one more time? Envision your objective and give it a rank. So yeah, okay. Let's go ahead. Defend against Astrid. We'll just call it troublesome. She's still wounded after all. I mean, she is a pirate, which means she has this up on us. It's not like this is going to be easy, but she is wounded. We literally pulled her out of a pile of rubble. She's not fully healed. So she's not a fully healed space pirate, at least. It's one injured space pirate. I think maybe we can do this. I imagine I will probably end up rolling things incorrectly, and that's just going to be what it is. Okay. Roll to see if you are in control. Maybe set up a locked room or a hammer. Okay. So let's go ahead and just roll for this and see where we are. On the move, facing off against your foe, in the thick of it at close quarters, preparing to act against an unaware foe or caught in a trap or sizing up the situation. Of all of those, starting out to me sounds the most like caught in a trap or sizing up the situation, because we were definitely caught unaware, right? This is absolutely sort of an ambush situation of we thought that Astrid was going to be a friend and it turned out she wasn't who she was supposed to be. And now we've got to like reconsider all of the things. So I definitely think that that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to roll plus wits. Which will come over here. And, oh, whoops, we don't even need to do that. We can pull out the dice right here. Wits, okay, perfect. Roll. That's a weak hit. I feel like maybe we want to burn momentum to start off better than this. Can we do that? Burn momentum. Is this doing anything? Is it changing the momentum that I have? Do I just do another challenge die? I'm so tired right now. I'm so tired. A 5. That's the same as before. No, that was a 6. Okay, so it was, I mean, that's still a weak hit. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll just take our momentum down 1 and say that's how that's supposed to go. I'm just really tired right now, okay? This is not going to go very well. I can already tell. Let's go ahead and log that. Okay. On a weak hit, choose 1. Take +2 momentum, or you are in control. On a miss, the fight begins with you in a bad spot. Okay. So, we begin. Let's start in control. So, I think... Okay, here's how this is going to go. An APB comes over the holocom. All right, yeah, here's what's happening. Is we are in the bridge by ourselves, and she is not in there yet. When an APB comes over the holocom with Astrid's face and a completely different name, and like this, basically like a wanted poster and like this list of crimes that she's wanted for. And the second we recognize her is like, so I think Vesper immediately like gets Mira to lock the door to the bridge where we are, but we're at the bridge is obviously the very front of the ship, so you can like see through the windows and everything there at the front. So Astrid is now in the ship. She can't currently get to us at this exact moment, but we can't do anything or get anywhere without going through where she is. So I think that we have this moment where we can like prepare and get ready and like just breathe for a second. I think Vesper's probably like pulling her knife out and like psyching herself up like, okay, we could do this. Like, it's just one person, right? It's just one person. Like, just go for the arm that's wounded. It's gonna be okay. And gets Mira to put out a would it be like a distress signal or like almost a 911 call? Because I think what we said was we are coming up on Janice. Like, we're right in front of it. We're almost at like what would basically be like a parking garage kind of situation where we're there, but not like inside yet. So that's probably that, or maybe Astrid gets some sort of tip off of the APB as well. But either way, I think Astrid knows that we're onto her. So this is absolutely going to be a fight. However, we have a moment, so we are in control. That's how I am. That's how I'm doing that one. Let's see what we're going to do next. Let's when you are in control and take action in a fight to reinforce your position or move toward an objective, envision your approach. Okay, so gain ground could be what we do next. React under fire, not quite. Strike. When you're in control and assault a foe at close quarters, roll plus iron. That could be. When you're in a bad spot, that's not us. Take decisive action, seize an objective in a fight. Battle. That's kind of fun. That's like a whole thing right there. Let's see. In pursuit, fleeing or maneuvering, charging boldly into action, coming to the aid of others, negotiating, nah. Gaining leverage with force, powering through or making a threat, hiding, preparing an ambush or misdirecting, coordinating a plan, studying a situation, or cleverly gaining leverage. Versus mark progress twice for a strong hit. I feel like this first move, at least, is probably gaining ground, coordinating the plan. That's what's happening right now. I think Vesper is at least like maybe trying to look over the. She's got Mira like pull up the blueprints of the ship, and she's like mapping out like, are there any ventilation systems? Like, are there doors that I can cut off? Is there any way that I can like kind of, get her into certain places? I think that's what we're doing right now before we open the door. That makes more sense to me at this exact moment than just opening the door and trying to like wildly fling a knife. That sounds more reasonable, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to gain ground by coordinating a plan and studying the situation. So we're rolling plus wits again, which my child is screaming. Why is she screaming? Okay, we'll have to wrap this up soon, I'm sure. I know I roll wits a lot, but it's because I'm literally playing a brainy scientist. Like, it's what she would do is analyze things. Strong hit. Okay, strong hit. Perfect. So we are able to pull up the schematics of the ship, and I think we're able to lock some doors and redirect some venting. As far as like the oxygen and stuff, so that we can kind of maneuver Astrid into one particular part of the ship that we want her to be in. So we can mark progress, take 2 momentum. On a hit, we stay in control, which we are. On a strong hit, choose 2. Add +1 to your next move, not a progress move. Let's go ahead and take 2 momentum and mark progress. I really wish that this wasn't automatically bold. How do you spell maneuver? Please help. Lock. Okay, perfect. We did it, team. We did it, team. Okay. Now that we have her where we want her, let's try... You know that scene in Alien, or I guess the ship in Alien in general is more what I'm talking about, where all the walkways have like... It's like a grate, and you can like crawl underneath, and the vents are places you can like crawl next to. I feel like this is not exactly like the Alien ship, but I think it's kind of like that. And Vesper being so like kind of small, I think that she has found a place or two where she can kind of get through, almost to hide from, and then like sneak up on Astrid when she wouldn't be expecting it. So I think that we're going to try to come up on Astrid, who has been sort of corralled into... I don't know what room we've corralled her in. Probably something near the airlock, right? Like as close to the exit of the ship as we can. And we're gonna try and get her feet out from underneath her. Especially, it would be nice if we could get her to fall on that hurt arm. That would be good. But something in particular to catch her off guard, catch her off her feet, and then see if we can get that knife away from her. Because I think Vesper's definitely trying to be non-lethal if we can. But we also need to mark progress. That's a full star, I think. That's a full one. Okay. Oh, that's not the one that we want, though. We want this one. Here we go. I feel like I had it written up. How to mark progress. Yes, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Troublesome is 3 full boxes. Okay, that's why we made... This is our first one. That's why I made it troublesome. I was like, that feels like kind of a lot all at once, though. Okay, so now we're going to strike. We're in control, and we're going to try an assault at close quarters. So that's plus iron. Let's do it. Double 10s. Okay, so the thing about Ironsworn is, you know, there are some games that are meet it, beat it, and Ironsworn and Starforged are not meet it, beat it, so there's no possible way to beat a 10. And if you have a match on your dice, that's like a critical, basically. So what just happened is we just had a crit fail. Like, genuinely a crit fail. Like a nat 1 is basically what just happened. So that is not good. On a miss, the fight turns against you. You're in a bad spot and must pay the price. Okay, so let's go down here. Which I thought... Pay the price. Okay, here's what we need. When you suffer the outcome of an action, choose one. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen. Ask the oracle for inspiration. Interpret the answer as hardship or complication. Roll on the table below. Let's just go ahead and roll on the table to see what we get. A new enemy is revealed? I don't think that would make sense. Your encounter signs of a looming threat. No, okay, so these are not gonna work in our particular situation. So let's look at what our actual things are here. Endure stress, endure harm, companion takes a hit, sacrifice resources, withstand damage, lose momentum. So of all of these things, we don't have a companion at the moment. I mean, Mira is not really a companion right now. That's not quite the same thing. Resources... I could see sacrificing resources if we're saying, like, we trapped her in, like, the biogarden and then cut the air to the biogarden. We would lose, like, the plants and stuff in there. But I don't want to say that we're doing that because I don't want... We're not trying to kill her, and that would be lethal. So those don't quite work. What does withstand damage mean? Vehicle faces a damaging situation. Okay, so maybe she damages the ship. That could be it. But really, it feels like enduring, like we're literally in a fight right now. So it feels like probably enduring harm is the most reasonable. So when you face physical injury, fatigue, or illness, suffer -1 health for minor harm, or 2 for serious harm, or 3 for major harm. If your health is at 0, lose momentum equal to remaining. If you choose to resist, roll plus health or plus iron, whichever is higher. What's our health right now? Where are we at the moment? Health is currently at 5. So I think what happens is we try to take Astrid's legs out from under her, and I think Vesper manages to get at her, and it is a surprise for Astrid, but Astrid is just much bigger and bulkier and stronger and heavier than Vesper is. I mean, she's literally, like we said, that she's got like plates in her skin. Like she's a beefy, like bodyguard kind of person. So Vesper tries to get her feet out from under her and does manage to like catch her by surprise, but doesn't manage to actually like physically pull her down. So I think instead what happens is we kind of grab her from, Vesper tries to kind of grab her from that ventilation hiding spot situation, and then instead of being able to pull her down, Astrid just has enough physical strength that she like yanks Vesper out, and Vesper is now like on the ground prone in front of where Astrid actually is. So I think we can probably call that, why do we have -1 spirit? I don't even remember where that's from. Let's go ahead and call that -1 health. Like she's like scraping us across this ground, and it's not she's not like stabbing Vesper at the moment, but like, you know, she's being like pulled all the way across. Oh, hey, Brett. We're fighting for our lives at the moment. The person that we saved from a derelict ship that we thought was going to be our friend actually turned out to be a space pirate and is now trying to murder us and steal our ship, so we've got to like try and not let that happen. It's going pretty okay at this point. So here's the other thing though, is that this is a miss with a match, so there's got to be an extra complication besides just the normal complication that you would think of. So what we need to do is figure out, is this the Ask the Oracle that I'm thinking of? No, it's not. That definitely does need to go in the journal though. Here, let me go ahead and put the sentences before I forget. Okay, that's my one sentence. All right, let's put this away for the moment. What kind of oracles can we look at here to add like a good complication? Story complication? Combat action? We'll try this one. 2 seemingly unrelated problems. We've got that one a lot recently. Let's try something else. True agenda of a connection or patron is revealed. Oh, hey guys, thanks for the raid. I am currently playing a solo game of Starforged, and we are in the middle of a fight with an NPC that I thought was a friend we saved from a Rifter ship and turned out to actually be a space pirate who is now trying to kill us and steal our ship. And I rolled double tens, so that's in this game basically the same thing as like a natural one. So I'm trying to find out what kind of other complication on top of the normal, just took a hit to health. I'm trying to find something like an extra fun complication that would be really problematic here, on top of it, because crit fail. So rolling on this random table, the true agenda of a connection is revealed, but I kind of feel like we already did reveal her true agenda, finding out that she's a space pirate. So, like, I don't know if that one is actually helpful. I just want problems, okay? I want problems. Someone important betrays your trust. Oh, look, it's the same thing again. Two seemingly unrelated problems. Again. Crucial equipment or device fails. Okay, finally one that's different. Finally one that's different. Crucial equipment or device fails. Let's think about this. What kind of crucial equipment or device would fail on the ship? And I'm going to be extremely honest at the moment. One, we just had a crit fail, and two, the plan that we set up involved getting schematics for the ship and locking certain doors and redirecting air to certain parts of the ship in order to sort of maneuver Astrid into a bit of the ship that we could get to her at better, so she wouldn't be able to roam around the whole thing. That was like part of our initial plan, was get her stuck in this one area. That being the case, I think it's pretty obvious that the crucial equipment or device that fails is going to be either something to do with the door locks or with redirecting the air in the room, because that's something that we were literally just messing with. So, that makes the most sense to me. So, let's see which one it is. We can go all the way down here, ask the Oracle. 50-50. If it says like no or the low end, then we'll call it a problem with the doors. Oh, hey, Kelly. And if we say like yes or the high end, then it's a problem with the air and the life support, and that's like way, way worse. So let's see what happens. No, okay, so it's a problem with the doors. All of the doors that we have locked. Well, it seems to me the most obvious answer is just that they all like open, right? Maybe it's that we have not voice locked Astrid out of anything, so Astrid just basically says the equivalent of like Google open the door. Except it's Mira. It's like, Mira, unlock all the doors. So she has access to the full ship once again. This is a problem. So where does Astrid go? Which, by the way, anybody in chat, feel free to hop in if you have any hot ideas about any of this, because I'm going to be entirely clear with you. I've never had a spaceship, so I don't really know, like, what kind of rooms a normal, like, the kind of spaceship one just has. I know it's got a bridge in it, I know it's got a workshop, and it probably has, like, an engine room and probably, like, some sort of, like, life support sort of area, maybe in the engine room, I don't know. But does it have, like, extra other fancy rooms? Beats me. This is new to us, remember, it's kind of a loner. So, we gotta find out. Vesper has access to the whole Vesper always has, sorry. Astrid has access to the whole ship. If you were a space pirate and you were trying to take over a ship and there's only one other person on this ship that you need to get rid of before you can dock with the space station, where would you go? And my first thought is the bridge. I don't actually know if that's reasonable. So we can just ask the Oracle again. Does she... I mean, let's almost certain, right? Yes, she tries to go for the bridge. Okay. So, cool, neat. Astrid, the space pirate, is in the bridge controlling our ship, and we are on the ground, with the wind knocked out of us, but she didn't stab us, so we have that going for us. Nice, I guess. Let's scroll up here a little bit to get to our strike is when we're in control. We're not in control anymore, so now we have to react under fire. When you're in a bad spot and you take action in a fight to avoid danger or overcome an obstacle, envision your approach and roll. Let's see. If you're in pursuit, fleeing, dodging, getting back in position, or taking cover, maybe. Remaining stalwart against fear or temptation, that one doesn't seem quite right. Blocking or diverting with force or taking the hit, moving into hiding or creating a distraction, or changing the plan, finding a way out, or cleverly bypassing an obstacle. I want to say that's what we're doing because Vesper is an engineer. But my brain is not working and I can't think of any clever plans. Just to be totally honest. Hey Kelly, if someone was trying to murder you and they managed to get control of your ship because you're actually a weak baby nerd, what would you do? Asking for a friend. The friend being Vesper. It's us. I'd try to cut off their light support. Or gas the room they're in with a paralytic. That makes sense. I doubt this particular ship has, like, that kind of capabilities just because it's not a fancy... This is like a cargo ship. We're in, like, the box trucks of spaceships right now. But try to cut off their life support makes a lot of sense to me. Changing the plan, finding a way out, or cleverly bypassing an obstacle. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and stop for the evening because, one, it's about time, and two, I'm so tired my brain is absolutely shutting down and I can't think anymore. But I think that this is a pretty good, like, cliffhanger place to end. That, as Vesper is, like, on the ground trying to figure out what to do next, she can hear, like, the hissing in the air vents change as Astrid is, like, cutting off life support throughout the rest of the ship besides the part that she's in. So if we don't do something soon, Vesper is going to suffocate to death, and that will solve all of Astrid's problems and make this game rather short for us. And that feels like a good cliffhanger to end it on, I think, personally. So that's what we're going to do. And then next episode, we'll come back and try and not die, and then maybe also pull out our own plasma knife that we have. So there is that. Thank you for joining me tonight, everybody. I am very pleased that we made it like halfway through. Like, if you check the challenges here, defend against Astrid. Okay, maybe not halfway through, but we made some good progress. And we haven't died yet. Or said, a nail gun also works perfectly. So, join me next, maybe Sunday. Maybe it won't be Sunday because I'm looking for a new day to do this. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Again, if you have an idea of a better night for this to be, please let me know because I'm all ears. But I'm thinking Wednesday or Thursday night because Sunday just is muchly for me.